Make sure to add that bronzer for me. Man, I'm telling you. It actually looks much better than normal. Whatever you're doing, it's working, because normally I look gray, the gray and blue, and it's terrible. So I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you think looks the best. That's so bad. I have no idea where you are. Where's Astara supposed to stand? You're next to me.
Well, I'm gonna look like a midget.
Better get her a box.
Look at this.
And I'm sitting down.
You wanna? I can get a box.
It's better than if you were.
I know.
You want me to stand next to you?
I don't know that that's going to be any better.
It won't. It
No. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Somebody else comes in right after.
So just be short. Okay. Well,
hunch.
if this is all you want, then
me
that's
to
what you're
hunch?
going to get.
Everybody
No.
wants to
Really?
know that.
Yeah. Why not? I just fit this way because I'm standing next to a Skeletor over here.
Did we get it all figured out?
ask Jay about the printer.
I'm not. He kind of filled me in a little bit. Yeah.
Do I have everything back here? Yeah. I do. You have me? This is my spot right here? Okay. Okay, a little bit? Okay. Okay. Oh, great.
Sports Center break, and then they go back.
That's it, yeah. And Chris is such a rock star.
I tell you, she is very impressive.
Yep, she's a total rock. Wrong direction. Another alarming COVID caseload here in Ohio. The precautions the state is urging everyone to take.
The reality of it is whether the address is, whatever the address is or not, it's what we provide as far as the schooling part of it is concerned.
The founder of Bishop Sycamore defends his controversial school and the accusations that he owes thousands of dollars to a local hotel.
Back in action, the Ohio State Buckeyes are gearing up to take the field. Jim Donovan joins us live with what to expect from our Buckeyes.
Going cashless. America's top roller coaster is ditching cash when they'll make the big transition.
Leading the land, Cleveland's top mayoral candidates reveal their favorite things about the CLE. What's new? Starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, happy Friday Eve, Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for joining us now at almost 5 o'clock. And thanks for choosing What's New. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford.
Betsy, good afternoon to you and good afternoon to everyone at home. By the way, perfect weather day today.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful day.
More to come on that
Yes.
for sure. I'll have the latest on the forecast in just a few minutes. But first, now at 5, an alarming number of COVID cases reported yet again in the state of Ohio. 7,087 cases in just 24 hours. That, of course, compared to yesterday. Now, keep in mind, yesterday had another high number, but that included cases from over several days. Today's number, the highest daily case count since January 15th. Now, the higher numbers are also swinging our 21-day average, which has now jumped to almost 4,000.
Betsy, same story with our hospitalizations. They continue to tick up. Another 240 patients statewide entering Ohio hospitals in the last 24-hour period. You can see the number on your screen there, that 9.6% number. That's the number of hospital beds available that are taken up by COVID patients. Just last week, that number was 7.8%. Going the wrong way.
It is. But today, the state's top medical leaders sounded the alarm on the spread here in Ohio.
3 News reporter Lydia Esparra joins us now with What's New on the What's New set. And Lydia, good afternoon to you. The Ohio Department of Health spoke today. What are they saying about these latest numbers?
Well, Jay and Betsy, they had a lot to say. And of course, none of us want to hear what's going on. And this is not what we expected for this Labor Day weekend. There are going to be massive crowds in many cities, and they're saying we all need to be careful. Dr. Bruce Vanderoff, director of Ohio Department of Health, says we are trending in the wrong direction. And in the end of the day, it will take everyone getting vaccinated to get us through this pandemic. And while he's not saying don't attend those Labor Day festivities, he says we have to be very, very careful.
If you're in an area where social distancing isn't possible, you need to be thinking about putting on that mask.
Put on that mask, use the stuff for your hands, everything. And statewide, 1 in 8 patients in the hospital have COVID. 1 in 5 patients in the ICU are battling the virus. Those numbers, they, of course, increase in mostly the rural areas. And they're warning it's all across the state. Everyone across the state is having problems with this.
Well, we keep, pushing the vaccine. There's so many people who have already had the virus, and now they're saying, well, we don't need to get the vaccine because we've had the virus. Are they actually protected? Are the antibodies really doing their thing?
That's a great question, Betsy. They are protected. They do have the antibodies. And I'll use my brother as an example. He had COVID, tremendous amount of antibodies. However, he still got the vaccine because that only improves your chances of not getting Delta or COVID-19 again, because you really can. So vaccination. On
top of the previous, if you've had it.
That's what we always talk about. Layer up.
That's it.
There's a lot of different things we can do to make sure that we stay safe. Lydia, thank you. Appreciate it. Now, there is some good news on the vaccine front. A new survey suggests hesitancy is declining. 70% of adults polled said they already got the vaccine. 8% said they plan to get it. The remaining 20% said they're unlikely to get it, but that number is down 3 percentage points from just 2 weeks ago. It also shows that the number of parents who plan to get their children vaccinated is also growing. In fact, that number is up 12% in 2 weeks. Here in Ohio, we are lagging behind the national vaccination rates. Nationally, 53% of all residents in this country are fully vaccinated. That number in Ohio is only 48%.
Now on your feet at 5. Boy, this is a huge story through the day today. The remnants of Hurricane Ida battered New York and New Jersey. New Jersey had tornadoes, then record rain and flooding overnight on top, which of course then moved into the New York City metro area. At least 25 people have been killed by the storm. In New York City, the subway turned into waterfalls, and in New Jersey, the roadways became waterways. Rescuers spent the day grabbing people by air and in the water.
Not for nothing, we're homeless right now. But this all, we're all going to come together and we're going to figure out a solution and we'll go from there.
Well, Ida, of course, has caused all kinds of problems before it even got to New York, all the way from Louisiana to Tennessee, Maryland, Pennsylvania, all getting hit hard by that storm.
Wow. Incredible images. Well, college football is back tonight for Ohio State Buckeye fans. Here is where the game will take place. This is Huntington Bank Stadium, a beautiful place to play football located there in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And the Buckeyes will play the Minnesota Golden Gophers tonight at 8 o'clock.
I'm so glad it's back. Sports Director Jim Donovan, also glad it's back.
Did I do a good job selling that?
Did. You sounded like Keith Jackson.
Extra punch in
Here
there.
come the Golden Gophers.
Oh, yeah, here they are.
Jimmy, I'm pumped because when we last saw the Buckeyes, they were losing in the national championship game, and not just losing, but they got belted by
really
Alabama. But they jumped right into the 2021 season with a Big Ten game against a Minnesota team that can be a bit tricky.
Yeah, I mean, they have a great coach in P.J. Fleck, and he really has turned the Minnesota program around. But the Buckeyes start the season tonight, as Jay said, on the road at the University of Minnesota. And here we go, and all eyes, of course, will be on this young man, the new quarterback for the Buckeyes, freshman quarterback C.J. Stroud from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Whatever happened to the Ohio quarterbacks? All right, whatever happened to the kids here in Ohio? Anyway, good luck to C.J. Stroud. No more Justin Fields. The Buckeyes haven't lost an opener since 1999. Ryan Day himself is 3-0 in season openers. They are a 2-touchdown favorite to win tonight. And of course, if you're Ohio State, you cannot stub your toe in an early game if you're thinking what everyone's thinking, Big Ten championship and a trip to the national championship.
You can't get anywhere down the road if you don't win this game. And so and that has to be it. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be, anything other than just a gritty win on the road. And you put that in the bank and you continue to build. It needs to be a start. And that's all that matters on this thing.
Remember, they have Oregon coming up right after this one. All right, that's for the Golden Gophers. A down year last year, like for everybody. They were 3-4, but the year before that, they were very good. They were 11-2. P.J. Fleck now is in his 5th year at Minnesota. He's got the theme of row the boat. Everybody rows the boat, and they're dangerous, especially with him as such a motivator. They'd love to pull off the big upset.
They're a team that reloads. They don't rebuild. Very talented guys that are coming in and playing. So at every position, they have depth, they have experience. They've got guys that are really, really talented. But again, they're a really good football team. I think everybody knows that. I think that's well documented and well deserved.
8 o'clock tonight, kickoff on the road. Fun. Huh?
It's really
full stadium. Fun.
Cheese curds. It's great.
Cheese curds. Very good.
You know, when they start on the road in the conference, I can't remember the last time that's, if ever, has happened.
I can't even remember them playing
so
in conference.
Yeah,
in their
this is a new thing where they're jumping into conference games and then they'll go out of conference for a little bit and then come back into conference. But P.J. Fleck is a guy you mentioned, roll the boat. He had so much success at Central Michigan, Western Michigan. Yeah. This is a guy who his players, to a man, will run through a brick wall for him.
Absolutely.
That's why they're always a dangerous team. Forget that record from last year. There's going to be no carryover from that.
No, absolutely. And they've got a great running back. And, I mean, he does it. It's an all-effort team. Kids that maybe weren't recruited by Ohio State, Alabama, teams like that, go to Minnesota now, which is really good because he is such a guy that can unearth talent, and he is sending guys to the NFL.
He is.
He really is.
And when Ohio State and Alabama overlooks these kids, they go to Minnesota with that chip.
That's right.
Right here. Yeah. And they love these kind of national exposure games so they can prove these coaches wrong.
I'm really looking forward to seeing, the next quarterback at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And to see how this kid C.J. Stroud does, and can he hold on to the job? Because there's like 6 right behind him waiting to play.
It's the first time in a while that it's been a little bit of a question mark going into the season.
True.
We'll see. All right, Jimmy, thanks.
And cheese curds.
Okay.
It's all about the cheese curds.
Absolutely.
That's my contribution to the story. Cheese curds.
That's the lead.
Speaking of concessions, everybody, don't bring any cash. That's the latest from Cedar Point. See where the concession thing comes around. The park has announced today that starting in the 2022 season, they are going cashless. If you don't have a credit or a debit card, here are your options. Guests will be able to convert cash to a prepaid debit card at cash-to-go kiosks that are going to be available around the park. The parent company of Cedar Point, Cedar Fair, also announced the cashless policy starting next spring. The park says the benefits of going cashless include faster transactions, safer, more secure payments, and spending less time in line waiting for change. How about that?
I feel like that's coming pretty much everywhere.
It is. Actually,
it's close.
Kings Island went cashless earlier this year. They wouldn't roll it out unless, it worked. I think everybody's pretty much in tune with the idea of using a credit card. Most people I talk to don't even have cash ever.
I never carry it.
Can I Venmo you? I don't even know what Venmo is. I don't have that.
You don't do Venmo.
I don't do it. You do Venmo?
All the kids are doing it, Bets. Yeah.
Ancient.
Yeah, it's so easy to transfer money. It's super easy. I will say there still is a segment of society that is repelling against this notion.
Oh, sure.
My mom, bless her heart, 81, she refuses to use a checking card. So she's that woman in line at the grocery store that's writing a check.
But here's the thing: when she has the check or she has cash, she's the one that's going to be able to leave the store no matter if the system is up, down, or otherwise.
She's quick to remind me of that.
That's the thing that always kind of gets me when they do the card only is if that system goes down. your hose.
And she'll hear stories about, your credit being scammed because you use cards, and my mom will say,
readers.
never going to happen to me. She's got the answer. Okay, next on What's New, our fun DIY series continues. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to build your very own raised planter box.
Wow.
This one was a little complex.
I love these little segments. All right, then if you're feeling that football fever, and who isn't, we have a blast from the past during last year's Super Bowl halftime show of The Weeknd. That's a look inside a new documentary. It's coming out soon.
That looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Betsy doing double duty tonight. She's also bringing you the weather report. How's it look, Bets?
Well, I mean, just look out the window. It's amazing. 2 green thumbs up. It's phenomenal. Temperatures in the 70s. If you're going out, gosh, you may even need a little bit of a sweater if you're going to be in the shade. The good news here, this will continue. I have the latest on when the next chances of rain will be coming in. Yes, it is during the holiday weekend. That's straight ahead.
I printed the 5 and the 6. Welcome back to What's New. It is time for another JAY This is where we take on a simple project that will help make your space a little more beautiful. And if you want the perfect spot to plant those flowers, vegetables, or herbs, you don't have to go to a store or order that big elevated planter online, because I'm going to show you how to make it very easily yourself. Today's project is an elevated planter. My dimensions, I want it 3 feet long by 1.5 feet wide.
You can find a full cut list on WKYC.com. Here's what else you'll need for the project.
A builder's square, a drill, a saw. I use a table saw, but you don't have to. Obviously, a measuring tape, a staple gun, and then some weed control liner to line your box when you're done so you can fill it with dirt. So my first cut will be my legs. It's pretty simple. 2 24-inch 2x4s cut in half. I'll screw them together. I'll have 4 of those, and those will be my corner posts. So I have my legs cut, 8 2-foot-long 2x4s. Now I'm going to marry 2 of them together 4 times, and I'll have my legs built.
Once your 4 corner posts are built, it's time to cut the front, back, and sides.
I have my 1x6. I'm going to make my measurements and cut all my pieces at once.
And now, time to put it all together.
So you start with your top face slat. You line it up with your builder square to make sure you're exactly a 90-degree angle, and then you just drill your screws in. So now I'm ready to attach my first side piece. Again, I want it flush with my legs at the top, using my builder square to make sure I'm perfectly at a 90-degree angle. I'm ready to secure my wood.
Now that your box is built, it's time to move on to your bottom slats.
And to do that, I need to cut 2x4 rails that I'll put all along the inside of this box so they can serve as supports for my bottom slats. This box filled with dirt will be very heavy and hard to move. So I'm going to drill a couple of holes in each side, put a rope handle on it so it'll be easier to move. I've slipped the rope through a washer. That's going to be my stopgap so my knot doesn't come through my hole. So I don't want the dirt, wet dirt especially, sitting on my wood. So I'm going to put my weed liner on it. It came in a 3-foot roll, which is perfect because that's exactly the width of my box. After I attached my front and side trim pieces, I cut my top trim with 45-degree angles, screwed it into the top, and you're ready to plant. All right, then I got out the paintbrush. Okay, so I think we have either video or some pictures of, and there it is.
Well.
There it is. Now, I wanted to put some pretty flowers in it to take the picture, but
yeah, you're into mums now, dude.
Yes, that's exactly what Tracy said.
You have passed by anything that's real pretty.
She said we're going to have to wait a little while until the mums are out and ready to go. And I want, really what I'm going to use it for next year, I want to throw some tomato plants in there,
herbs.
some basil. Yeah, and then I'll be able to, but it's too late in the growing season for that. So later there'll be mums in it, but I enjoy doing that. And again, the full instruction and the cut list is up on WKYC.com.
This reminds me when I was a kid, we would come home from church on Sundays and sit down, and my family loved to watch PBS, and we would watch the New Yankee Workshop.
Oh, I love that show.
Norm Abram. Do you remember Norm Abram?
I love that show.
My father would sit there and grumble. I could do that too if I had a $1,500 air compressor. He would rip the show apart completely. Like, you know, in 30 minutes, Norm would go from like a few pieces of wood to a beautiful credenza.
And by the way,
we
cut out all that bad stuff.
Yeah.
We edited, Gianni did a great job editing that. Yeah, all of that stuff, that doesn't make air. It really was easy to do.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. They're fun to do. And by the way, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do a piece on a Cleveland company that makes tools that are specific for the beginner that wants to do stuff like this. It's perfect for this project.
Well, if you ever knock off one of Jay's projects, please send us pictures.
I want to see it.
We totally would love to do that. Let's take a look at the forecast, everybody, because man, it is so nice outside, is it not? Clear skies, cool temperatures, comfortable humidity. We may have a few clouds here and there as the wind keeps coming in off of the lake as we get into the overnight hours, but for now, phenomenal. And notice that by midnight, 50s showing up on the map once again. There is the temperature and wind scheme that we have going on. Northerly winds continue to come in. Lakeshore areas just ever so slightly cooler than those farther south. Dover still doing tropical Dover things, sitting at 76 degrees right now. But this is the big story, the dew point temperatures. We now have dew points that are in the 40s and low 50s. This is exceptionally comfortable air. A lot of folks saying perfect weather, and it's just comfortable. You can get stuff done outside without getting all gross and sweaty. And then, you know, it kind of sets you up to keep the windows open even at night if you have that chance to. Here's the thing, over the next couple days, of course, the ebb and flow of the atmosphere, that too will change. And notice when we get that spike in the dew point temperatures coming back with more humidity Saturday into Sunday. That's a key to the forecast as we get into the weekend, because this storm system out to the west is going to start to get a little bit closer to us. We'll have some high, thin clouds that are part of our day tomorrow, and then probably once we get into Saturday, increase in clouds. Rain chances are coming through as we go into the weekend forecast. But for right now, we continue to have these clear skies in northeast Ohio, and that is going to set us up for just some beautiful weather. As a matter of fact, kind of a cool look here. As you see, we are going to see these clear skies continuing, and then as we get into the overnight hours tonight, we are going to see the temperatures dipping back into the 50s. We're just going to skip to the Union Home Mortgage 7-day outlook. Actually, let me back it up one because I can. Here's the National Design Mart on the hour forecast. Just a few clouds coming through through, but there you see your day tomorrow. We're going to start off cool, upper 50s, low 60s. The temperatures are going to be jumping into the low 70s for the afternoon. And yeah, I mentioned we'll have a few clouds around, but we're going to have plenty of sunshine too. Now we'll take a look at that outlook, and you can see we'll be up around 80 degrees on Saturday with increasing clouds through the afternoon. Rain chances late. So Saturday night into Sunday is when our rain chances will come through. We may have a few showers lingering into the day on Sunday, but still pretty comfortable all in all. Labor Day as of right now, just a few clouds around, maybe some pop-up rain showers as the cooler air is settling in with highs only in the mid-70s. Back up to 80 on Tuesday. Another frontal boundary comes in, and that's going to kick off some cooler weather and clearing skies as we head toward next weekend. Jay?
All right, Bets, thank you very much. Coming up next, the Rocket Man is ready to blast off again. What we know about a new Elton John album and who he's teaming up with to make that happen. Then today's Worth the Watch comes straight from the WKYC Studios newsroom. Yep, you're looking at a new Twinkie and an old Twinkie, and we've got an incredible story behind this journey. Sounds silly, I know, but we'll explain when we come right back.
I don't like Twinkies. Hi, Matt. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry, I do not like it. I prefer a Zinger over a Twinkie. If anyone knows what that is.
A Zinger. Are those round?
No. No? They're shaped just like Twinkies, but except they have like yellow frosting on the top, and they're kind of more tangy. Twinkies kind of taste like, Twinkies kind of taste like angel food cake to me, and I don't like that.
Oh, you're not an angel food cake fan? I am a little concerned about whatever it is they're putting in things that make them last like that.
50,000 years?
I mean, that thing's almost 10 years old.
Yeah. We had a reporter here before, Dorsina. She was a vegan, and she had a McDonald's.
It is time for your Thursday Pop Break.
That's right, and Kira Cotton joins us now. You're going to be talking a little bit about Super Bowl. Yeah. A little flashback to the Super Bowl and the new documentary that takes you there.
That's right. Music superstar The Weeknd is taking fans back in time to his Super Bowl halftime performance earlier this year. The blinding light singer is showing fans just how much time and planning went into the most watched 12 minutes in television in the middle of a pandemic. The documentary, titled The Show, will air September 24th on Showtime. And music icon Elton John is releasing a new album after being bitten by the creative bug during the pandemic. The Rocket Man is switching things up with a 16-track project titled The Lockdown Sessions, featuring some of the industry's most popping artists, including Dua Lipa, Young Thug, Charlie Puth, Lil Nas X, just to name a few. He also teams up with some old favorites like Stevie Wonder and Stevie Nicks. The Lockdown Sessions will be available to stream October 22nd. And this next story is out of this world, literally. Netflix just recently released the official trailer for the upcoming docuseries Inspiration 4. The series, in real time, shows us follows 4 regular everyday people as they prepare to travel to space on SpaceX's Dragon mission.
They will orbit the Earth for 3 days on their own.
In the trailer, you watch as the group prepares to take the trip of their lives. We learn more about them, their families, and why they're willing to take such a big risk. The 5-episode series will end with a feature-length documentary showing the crews actually in space. Now get this, the first episode of Countdown Inspiration Mission 4 will release September 6th, and the actual mission will launch live on the Netflix YouTube page September 15th. Can you believe that?
I'm going to watch that. I'm very interested in that.
I think it's amazing that it's the regular everyday people.
Right? They have no experience.
Into this very, very, very exclusive club. I think it's going to be fascinating for folks.
Elon Musk is doing crazy things, but they're entertaining to watch for sure.
It works. Now he's going to make more money on that.
Right.
Way to go.
He needs a little more.
Yeah, just a little extra.
Key, thanks. Appreciate it. We'll see you in the next half hour. All right, today's Worth the Watch comes from our very own newsroom. Our director, Matt, has had a Twinkie on his desk for 9 years. There he is.
Seriously, 9 years.
He's a big fan, Matt is. He got it the day Hostess announced that they would be closing.
I remember this.
He decided to keep it even after the sweet treat made a comeback. You remember that was just a couple of years ago. Now here's a side-by-side. There is the Twinkie from 2012 next to, at the time, a brand new Twinkie, 2018. Clearly not edible there on the left, but it doesn't look too bad considering that it's, 6 years old in that picture. Well, today it fell off Matt's monitor. He keeps it on his monitor. Yes, it did. And trust me, that was the reaction to the entire newsroom. The wrapper split, which means the plastic actually died before
degraded.
The Twinkie. Now, here's the deal. Crumbs went flying everywhere, Bets.
Right.
It was the closest thing our newsroom has seen to a tragedy.
Yeah.
And when I'm telling you people were devastated, I'm not overstating that. This has matured over the course of 9 years. This is what the Twinkie
That is a
like
9-year-old Twinkie.
So what Matt's done is he's put it in a Ziploc bag, hoping that we can preserve this thing a little bit longer. Why? Because we can.
Because we can.
Yeah. So there it is. And I was looking closely at it. I don't want to squeeze it, but I'll pass it to you so you can kind of make your observations. Somewhere in there is a cream filling.
So we all, when he first started this, we were like, oh, okay, haha. And then it just kind of became this thing, and we were all watching, and then we're like, oh, well, obviously there's going to be like mold or something that grows. Y'all, this thing is not moldy. It's just a shadow of its former self. It's hard.
Yes.
So it's not like the spongy deliciousness that is a Hostess Twinkie, but it's still intact.
Listen, Matt is our director. Do you hear the little sad piano music that he's playing? No, almost like it's the end of the Twinkie.
We need to put it in a time capsule.
It's in one right now, that Ziploc bag.
And then, someday our children's children will look back and go, what were they thinking?
It is really getting crummy in there. No question about it.
At no time have I ever been so happy I got a manicure 2 weeks ago than right now.
Yeah, show off those nails.
Hanging it off. All right, coming up in the next half hour of What's New, the Bishop Sycamore saga continues. This story just keeps on going. We're going to be hearing from the founder of the alleged Ohio school and why he's defending it, but dismissing the football coach. Yes, everything's still being called into question.
Plus, lightning round, our Sarah Schuckman and Mark Namick ask some Cleveland mayoral candidates quick questions in our latest Leading the Land series, how fast they can think, and some of their important answers about Cleveland coming up.
An expansion for Edwin's. So excited about this. How the local organization is helping give people a second chance. That's ahead and clicking in Cleveland. We'll be right back.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Let's get you caught up now with what's new at 5:30 with 3 things that you need to know. First, the Ohio Department of Health announced today that Ohio's cases per 100,000 is above 400. That is a huge increase from early July when it was close to 17.
Oh my.
Statewide, 1 in 8 patients in the hospital have COVID. 1 in 5 patients in the ICU is battling the virus. Today, the state recorded 7,087 new cases.
The Northeast Ohio man wanted for assaulting an MSNBC reporter during Hurricane Ida coverage has been arrested now. According to the U.S. Marshals, they arrested Benjamin Dagley in Dayton today. In this video, you can see him running up to the reporter during a live shot, heckling the reporter and his crew. Everyone was okay. Dagley was charged with 2 counts of simple assault, 1 count of disturbance of the peace, and 1 count of violation of emergency crew. Wow.
Big changes are going to be coming to Cedar Point. Next season, the amusement park will stop accepting cash. All Cedar Fair properties going cashless in 2022. For guests who don't have a credit or a debit card, you can convert cash into a prepaid debit card at kiosks that will be set up around the parks. I think a lot of folks are understanding that that's pretty much the way things are going to be going. Cash will still be there in some respects, but it's actually easier just to have a card with it and not have to deal with all that, especially when you're going upside down and change flying. And
a lot of people pay by their phone too. So they swipe their phone and it's quick, it's easy, and they're through. When you said that the amusement park is going to stop taking cash next year, I thought, wait, what?
Yeah.
Free?
No.
Walk in,
no.
everything's free?
Never.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry about that. Well, with all that, everybody, we welcome you back to What's New. This is free, by the way. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford.
Yeah, beautiful day out there today, and I'm going to give you all the credit because Matt's off and you're in.
I'm down.
Honestly, I think, for my taste, 75, low humidity. I just think today was that absolute perfect weather day, or as close as you can get to it.
It is. How much time have I spent outside today?
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, what am I doing?
I know.
Go, go, go.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll continue. You'll tell us coming up.
Yeah, it will.
Our top talker is next. And it reveals even more details about this bizarre story surrounding Bishop Sycamore High School, which is allegedly based in Ohio.
That's the thing. Everything is based on allegedly. Investigative reporter Bennett Haberly with our sister station in Columbus spoke with the school's founder who defended its legitimacy.
Bishop Sycamore listed this athletic practice space as its physical address, and this building at Franklin University.
I've been in Ohio all my life.
And a P.O. box and a home address for its foundation, Andre Peterson's home.
You see where people would look at that and view it as something doesn't seem right here.
Well, I understand that the reality of it is whether the address, whatever the address is or not, it's what we provide as far as the schooling part of it is concerned. And so we've used library, we rent space from several different locations. So I understand that, but it doesn't stop what we're doing as far, or it doesn't affect what we're doing as far as the young men are concerned.
Peterson described himself as the founder and director of Bishop Sycamore High School, which he says is mostly online.
Go!
The team doesn't have a home field and practices where it can. This is the school's website, which has now been mostly scrubbed.
When you guys go to your old website, it looks more like a football recruiting website than it does for a high school. So
Right.
I have to ask, I mean, is this operation basically just a shell corporation to play football?
No, sir, it's not. So we actually have somebody working on the website right now because I do understand that. And that was one of the things that we talked about. So we do have somebody working on the website to correct those issues. But I do understand that that's what it would appear to be as far as the website is concerned.
During our conversation, Peterson told me following this weekend's lopsided loss to IMG Academy, he was hurt by the online criticism. He claims his team that went 0-6 last year didn't dupe anybody to play against the highly ranked school. He says they were asked and paid to play by a promoter, although he wouldn't say how much, citing a non-disclosure agreement.
Somebody says Bishop Sycamore is not legitimate, or is not a legitimate football program, not a legitimate school. You would say what?
That they're wrong.
Why so?
Because I believe what we've done what we needed to do as far as making sure that these young men are educated. As far as football-wise, we play a schedule, and we try to do the best that we can as far as, making sure that they have a schedule, that they're playing good teams, that they're getting exposure.
But questions about their legitimacy surfaced long before this weekend's lopsided loss.
Any sense of them claiming that they're trying to do it the right way, to me, doesn't hold any water, because these are the exact same people that did COF Academy. So if you failed at that, and you saw how that fell apart, how 4 years later do you not have those same issues solved?
Ben Ferry is a former investigator with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. He said he began looking into Bishop Sycamore's predecessor years ago, Christians of Faith Academy. A lawsuit alleged Coach Roy Johnson owed $110,000 in hotel fees at this Baymont Inn that housed players who were living there temporarily. A separate lawsuit alleges Johnson took out a $100,000 loan, claiming connection to this AME church on Jefferson Avenue that hasn't been repaid.
COF Academy claimed that they were a first-year program here in Columbus, Ohio, that was going to have 750 students. And so immediately that didn't smell right.
Ferry says he questions whether Bishop Sycamore can right the ship. Is it a moneymaker for you guys?
No, it's not a moneymaker at all. Like I said, I haven't received a check from Bishop Sycamore. Like I said, we spent out a lot of money, and so it's not about the moneymaker.
Peterson says he's dismissed Johnson as head coach and that the school is financed by him, his wife, and private donors. I also asked Peterson about another issue that came up, unpaid hotel bills from this past weekend. He said that was from a sponsor and he couldn't comment. He did say that he's unafraid of what the state investigation may bring and that they are still planning to go forward with having school and eventually playing other teams. Bennett Haberly, 10 Investigates.
Very in-depth story. Okay, so immediately, as you and I are watching it, I'm questioning, okay, what about the school part of this?
Where's the math and language arts and history
Yeah,
and
this
science?
is a high school that, by the way, as an extracurricular, has football. And what it appears, at least to us on the outside looking in, is that it's a football team
It just so happens to dabble in maybe a few school subjects.
I don't even know if that's the case, because yesterday we heard from a former player who said never went to class. There was no formal education part of it. In fact, he said they were dining and dashing and stealing food from grocery stores because there were no cafeterias. There was no food being provided to these students, who in many cases come from other places. This story is just bizarre.
Very weird. And it's right here in Ohio, so and it's not like it's brand new. I mean, it's just because ESPN had that game.
That's why we're all talking about it.
That's the only reason to talk about it, because St. Ed's was going to play. I mean, they've played Northeast Ohio teams over the years.
Yeah, it's stunning. I think the biggest part of this moving forward is you're likely never to hear from their football program again. Maybe a good idea, but boy, was the cart before the horse. I mean, there was no facility, there was nothing.
Right.
And it sounds like there were no funds
And you have to think OHSAA is going to get involved at some point with some rulemaking, too.
Absolutely. There were rules broken. You can be sure of that. Okay, still ahead. A special night for fans coming up at Canal Park in Akron to help figure out who Tim and Alyssa are. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, stay tuned. This is a wild story.
Well, that's interesting. Then our Leading the Land series continues. Talk about interesting. These are fascinating.
I've loved all of them.
Hear from some Cleveland mayoral candidates on quick thinking questions. Everything from their favorite park to who's been the best mayor of the city previously. I think that's a pretty interesting twist. There's a look at how we fared today. 74 the high, 59 the low. A lot of folks would say that is smack down the fairway of perfection.
That is.
It is so nice out there, right? And the good news is it's going to continue. We're watching some rain for the weekend. I have the latest straight ahead. sun is shining, breeze is blowing, people smiling. Those are three good things about today, and certainly we have more of that that's going to be coming our way as we head through the next several days. Beautiful stretch of weather setting up. Tonight, no exception. We have clear skies now. We'll just have a few clouds coming in off of the lake. Look at the temperatures. By the time we hit tomorrow morning, we will be in the mid-50s. Could be jacket weather for some folks. I think by this time, you know, they always say your blood thins as it gets warm. This is about as thin as the Northeast Ohio blood gets, so get ready with a sweater tomorrow morning as you step out the door. We will have some high, thin clouds that start to come our way as we get into the day tomorrow. But boy, the East Coast finally clearing out. There's what's left of Ida. The storm is now up into the Canadian Maritime provinces. It's continuing to move out into the North Atlantic, but not before it absolutely brought all kinds of problems with it. Most of the problems, the most widespread problem, has been rain. Inland rainfall with a tropical landfalling system is always a huge thing. Initially, it's all about wind and storm surge, but that inland rain threat just continued, especially with this storm. Notice here we had, 15, 20 inches of rain down in New Orleans and Mississippi in some locations. But look what happened here after the storm continued to move to the northeast, and especially up in here into New Jersey and New York. They had all kinds of problems yesterday. Record-setting rainfall in New York City. You saw the video of the water cascading into subways. They were doing water rescues, and just a horrible situation. So, typically with weather, this is the last 5 days. What's the next big thing? Well, the next big thing is sitting out in the Atlantic Ocean. As of right now, it is only a problem for fish. That's good news. But we have Hurricane Larry that is sitting way out in the middle of the Atlantic. This storm system expected to slowly but surely strengthen up to a Cat 4. That is a new update from the National Hurricane Center as it continues to move in. Even 5 days from now, it's still going to be sitting in the middle of the ocean. So one to watch? Yes. One to worry about? Not for right now, unless you have fishes that you're worried about. All right, there is a look at the cloud cover that we are talking about for tomorrow and into Saturday. By Sunday, then, this rain starts to come in. So we kind of have this little window Saturday night when we have a rain chance that gets into Northeast Ohio. But in the meantime, it is just beautiful. All day Friday, most of the day on Saturday. As a matter of fact, here's a quick look at your forecast, and I did correct the graphics here a little bit for you. I just am so excited about it. This is a new graphic I made over the weekend. Anyway, you can see we have the mostly clear skies now. That stays that way as we go through the night tonight. Temperatures fading back into the mid-50s for the start of the day tomorrow. And then once we get into the afternoon, just a few clouds around. You can kind of see those puffy cumulus clouds, fair weather cumulus. Temperatures tomorrow topping out in the mid-70s. Your National Designer on-the-hour forecast taking us into the low to mid-70s as we get into the afternoon. You can see those few clouds passing through, but I really don't think that's going to be much of an issue for anybody. More decorative than anything else. Your Union Home Mortgage forecast does hold on to a little bit of summertime heat, up to 80 on Saturday. It's Saturday night into Sunday. We have the rain chances come in. That then moves out, and other than a pop-up rain chance on Labor Day, we're looking at a dry wrap-up to the holiday weekend. Jay?
Okay, Bets, thank you very much. Digital anchor Stephanie Haney out this week, so we say hello again to Kiera Cotton for What's Clicking in Cleveland. Hi again, Kiera.
Hello again to you, Jay. We begin with great news for Edwin's, the local leadership and restaurant institute that made a mark in Shaker Square Buckeye community. The organization is expanding its Second Chance Life Skills Center. Founder and CEO Brandon Krastowski has bought a multi-level 7-unit apartment building on South Moreland that will house students and alumni of the program. Edwin's has been a staple in teaching ex-offenders the fundamentals of culinary arts and serves 20% of the U.S. prison population. Now to an update on a public breakup that happened at an Akron Rubber Ducks game last week. You may remember this story where a guy named Tim paid $5 to post a scoreboard message saying, "Alyssa, this relationship is over." Well, now the minor league team is playing a game of their own, hosting Tim and Alyssa night at Canal Park on September 15th in honor of the viral breakup on the Jumbotron. Anyone named either Tim or Alyssa will get into the game for $5, and the first 1,000 people will get a free t-shirt that says either Team Alyssa or Team Tim. Now, this is all in good fun, but it's also in an effort to find the real Tim and Alyssa. We want to make sure she's okay.
I know. When I saw that, it went viral.
Of course.
With the tweet. Yeah. And when I saw that, I'm like, there's got to be an incredible backstory there. And I don't know if I'm on Team Tim or Team Alyssa because we don't know the backstory. Exactly. What did Alyssa do? What did Tim? We don't know.
And minor league teams are known for like their wackadoodle, promotion nights. They are nailing it with this one. This is definitely one that got people
Shout
talking.
out to all the Tim and Alyssas out there. They're going to have a ball.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. Thanks, Key.
Sure.
On the spot, next, hear from 6 candidates in the race for mayor of Cleveland. It's a series of lightning round questions, and it's going to be entertaining while informing. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, then a swift hole-in-one, but was it by luck? We'll show you who decided to follow one golf ball on the course ahead in our Show Us Something Good.
Well, the first two have been very informative and entertaining as well. They've been good to watch. Now we have the third and final installment of our series called Leading the Land. That's where we've brought you one-on-one interviews with 6 candidates in the race for mayor of Cleveland.
That's right. And tonight, Sarah Shookman and Mark Namath go rapid fire with the hopefuls so you can get to know them a little better.
Whatever comes to you quickly for this.
Yep.
What's your favorite city park?
Ooh, it's got to be Zelma George Park. That's where I learned how to play ball like a man back in the day.
You know, of course, the Fannie Lewis Park, right in Ward 7. But I've been really enjoying Lincoln Park, Fannie Lewis Park. Of course, Luke Easter Park is always where we have.
I'm not going to let you name them all.
Yeah.
Oh, the Worthington Park. It's behind the First District. My wife and I walk there all the time. We love it.
I would say Woodhill Park. Woodhill Park is my favorite because it was the closest park to me. But then can I add a second one? Sure. Can I add Williams Park? Yeah. Because I grew up right down the street off 120, it's off 124th and Buckeye.
Low Park.
Luke Easter Park.
Who's been the best mayor in your lifetime?
Man, that's a great one. Mike White.
Well, you got to give me 2 on that one. George Voinovich and Mayor Mike White.
Well, Jackson's been there for 16 years. I don't want to say that one.
Carl Stokes. No question about it.
I would probably say Mike White. You know, I would say Mike White.
I would say early on in Mayor Jackson's administration. But I did like some of the policies that Mayor White put in place, but I didn't really know.
Frank Jackson.
Burke Lakefront Airport. Keep it open or close it?
Build the most beautiful park in the world. right there.
Close it.
That is something where an irresponsible politician will just say close it. It's a complicated issue.
I want to make it the best lakefront available for residents. So I want to close Burke. I don't know if I want to close Burke Lakefront or have a lakefront designed for residents to go to with Burke still there.
You know, the experts say that there's no way that we can close it right now at the moment.
Cleveland Indians, Cavs, or the Browns? Who's your favorite?
The Browns, man, the Browns. I'm a Browns guy. Now, when LeBron was here, you know, I was much more of a Cavs fan.
Well, some of my friends like the Indians, and some of my friends like the Browns, and some of my friends like the Cavs. Me, I'm for my friends.
All three.
Cavs.
Browns.
Why?
I'm just a football guy.
Cleveland's corporate community, friend or foe?
Friend.
Friend. And key partner.
I have higher standards for corporate Cleveland. There's a lot that needs to be changed, a lot that needs to be done.
Both.
Friend. Or were they were before this campaign anyway.
Oh, I'm their new best friend.
If you triage City Hall departments, which one needs surgery right now?
The mayor's department, they have people falling over each other, trying to figure out what they do. I'm going to reorganize the mayor's office and the cabinet.
Economic development.
Oh, man, building and housing.
Department of Health.
Oh, building and housing.
Who is your second choice for Cleveland mayor?
Zach Reed. Oh, I think Zach is terrific.
I don't have a second choice. It's only one choice, and that's Zach Reed.
I would say State Senator Sandra Williams. Probably a bias because we both go to the same church.
I am the only candidate, in my opinion.
I might write in Blaine Griffin.
Oh, man. Bashir. I'm the first choice and my second choice.
That's really
Fascinating.
It's very enlightening. Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. I don't know what the right answer is to that question, other than perhaps we heard it a time or two. I'm the only choice.
It's a personality thing, and I think that's what a lot of these candidates have to try and do is connect with people.
That's the goal.
And when you're standing up and you're doing the politician dance or whatever, and shaking hands and kissing babies, that whole thing, it's hard to let your personality come out. And I think that's kind of what this little series has done is give that little glimpse.
We just got a peek. All right, to learn more about the candidates, including their favorite restaurants, go to WKYC.com and click on the Leading the Land link.
There you'll find a full interview with each candidate on all of the topics.
I think it's a great service. I'm really glad we're doing that. Next, was it pure luck, talent, or Mother Nature's help? This golfer made this crazy putt. We're going to have you decide after the break.
And coming up on What Matters Most at 6, how a local nonprofit is helping bridge the gap as kids go back to school, focused on language and cultural barriers.
Did you ever do lunch break?
Okay, did you ask, seriously, Al? He said, okay, Lydia, give me a mic check. You see?
I told you it's hard, that's why I'm tweeting it.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I mean, people get us confused all the time.
Clearly, we look alike.
Carrie Coleman called me Lydia twice on the air. And then I said,
hi, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm here.
And then the prompter one said,
Hi, hello, Amanda Abraham here in studio talking about the mysterious.
All right, you may have to look close here. Golfer Brooks Koepka had a little extra help getting his golf ball into the hole on his long birdie putt. Did you see it? There was a little white butterfly guiding the ball all the way in. A lot of folks who are excited to see that. Pretty cute stuff. Watch it. See it?
That is cool, yeah.
Following, and then it tries to land on it, and then it goes away. I know. Oh, lots of awes from Lena and Lydia.
I think it's great.
Very excited.
I think it's very cool.
Yeah.
We're out of time. Back tomorrow at 5, and we hope to see you then.
Jay and Lena are going to be taking over for What Matters Most now.
COVID crisis.
Unvaccinated Ohioans are far and away the COVID-19 patients filling our hospital beds.
A top health official has some tough words when it comes to the COVID pandemic in Ohio, heading into a busy holiday weekend. Historic storm.
We are in a whole new world now. Let's be blunt about it. We saw a horrifying storm last night.
A stunned U.S. East Coast tonight after surging rivers and destruction from the remnants of Hurricane Ida slammed the area with record-breaking rain. Under arrest, an Ohio man on the run after confronting a news reporter on live TV is captured. How U.S. Marshals from Cleveland played a role in his arrest. Air show excitement. After being grounded by the pandemic, the Cleveland Air Show ready to take flight for a fun holiday weekend.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
Good evening, and thanks for being with us. I'm Jay Crawford.
And I'm Lena Lai. Russ and Laura have the night off. Tonight, new signs that Ohio is going the wrong way in the pandemic. The state health department reporting 7,087 new cases of COVID today. That's some of the highest numbers of the year, and it's happening at the worst time, right before a major holiday weekend. The Ohio Department of Health Director held a special news conference today to talk about all of this. Lydia Sparrow joins us now with more on this troubling new data.
Oh, it's so troubling. And of course, things are going from bad to worse, especially, as you mentioned, leading into the Labor Day weekend.
Every single county in Ohio has a high rate of community transmission of COVID. Residents statewide should take precautions.
A strong and stern warning from the state's top doctor. COVID is spreading faster than before. Bruce Vanderoff says we must find a way to slow it down.
Unvaccinated Ohioans are far and away the COVID-19 patients filling our hospital beds. This is trending in the wrong direction. In our rural hospitals, 1 in 4 patients are hospitalized with COVID-19.
And with Labor Day weekend upon us, expect big crowds at the Geauga County Fair, at Oktoberfest at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds, and at the Air Show. Events that draw locals by the thousands. Vanderoff says it's the unvaccinated who are spreading the virus, and they, the unvaccinated, are taking up rooms in Ohio hospitals. 1 in 8 patients have COVID-19, 1 in 5 are in the ICU. He says it doesn't have to be that way. Vaccinations are still widely available, and so are masks. The state is not saying you can't attend these events, just this.
Think safely. If you're in an area where social distancing isn't possible, you need to be thinking about putting on that mask.
And we can't say this enough, there are longer waits in the ER. Elective surgeries are now being postponed. We all know we have excellent health care right here in Northeast Ohio. And if they're being overwhelmed, you know things are bad.
Yeah,
very bad.
Hospitals overwhelmed, hospital workers overwhelmed, right?
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, thanks so much, Lydia.
A local restaurant now wants proof that you are COVID-free before you dine there. The Felice Urban Cafe is one of the first local restaurants to require proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test for guests. The business is located on Latchmere Boulevard in Cleveland and says its new policy is designed to keep both their staff and patrons safe. Meantime, overseas, Japan has confirmed its first cases of the Mu variant of the coronavirus. Japan's health ministry said the variants were detected from 2 women who entered the country from the United Arab Emirates and from Britain earlier this summer. So far, it's believed the vaccines are less effective in blocking infections from this new variant. At least for now, the new variant has not impacted the U.S.
The Northeast Ohio man wanted for assaulting an MSNBC reporter on live TV during Hurricane Ida. He's now in custody tonight. According to the U.S. Marshals here in Cleveland, they helped to arrest Benjamin Dagley in Dayton earlier today. In this video, you can see he's running up to the reporter during a live report and heckled him. Dagley already had a warrant out for his arrest in connection with a previous criminal case. The reporter and his crew are okay. Dagley was charged with 2 counts of simple assault, 1 count of disturbing the peace, and 1 count of violation of emergency crew.
The founder of Bishop Sycamore High School is speaking out, defending his school, which is now at the center of a growing controversy after that blowout loss in a nationally televised football game on ESPN on Sunday. And now we're learning of even more accusations against the school. Manny Abraham joins us now with more.
Canton, Ohio.
After days of questions following that major loss in Canton, Bishop Sycamore's founder is finally talking. Multiple addresses were listed for Bishop Sycamore, leading to questions of whether it's a legitimate school.
The reality of it is whether the address, whatever the address is or not, it's what we provide as far as the schooling part of it is concerned. And so we've used library, we rent space from several different locations, so I understand that, but it doesn't stop what we're doing as far, or it doesn't affect what we're doing as far as the young men are concerned.